What's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ava, and in this video we're just going to talk about life after nursing school. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about my life after nursing school. So let's get right into the video. So I'm going to stage my phases after nursing school, kind of like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior type, just to keep the video organized. So for example, my first year out of nursing school is gonna be my freshman year. My second year out of nursing school will be sophomore, and then third year will be junior. Y'all get the point. So let's get right into freshman season. Freshman season, my first year out of nursing school. So I graduated nursing school in 2021. I sat for the NCLEX. Well, my graduation date was May 8th, and I sat for the NCLEX on June 3rd, and I got my official nursing license on June 8th. So I didn't really waste a lot of time between graduating and sitting for the NCLEX. Most people say about a month, so that's what I did and became an RN. My first job was working at Big Duke in North Carolina. I was a float pool nurse, medical surgical float pool nurse. I actually got that job before I graduated, so I got approved for the job in April, and the job was contingent on me getting my nursing license in June. And once I got my nursing license, my official start date was in August. So I started as a med-surg float pool nurse. And I would say the very first year of nursing, maybe I shouldn't have started off in the float pool. It kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. Just trying to learn the flow of the hospital, and on top of learning the flow of the hospital, you're not learning the flow on one unit. I had to learn the flow on 5, 6, 7, 8 units within that time frame. So it was a little bit overwhelming, but nonetheless, it was still a good learning and teaching experience. All while that was happening, I was pregnant with my first child. Oh my gosh, y'all, I graduated nursing school. I didn't know it when I walked across the stage in May. I was pregnant. I was like 8 weeks pregnant. I didn't realize I was pregnant until I sat like a couple days before the NCLEX. I took a pregnancy test because I had my suspicions, and sure enough, I was pregnant. So while all that's going on, like trying to get adjusted to nursing, I'm also pregnant. Oh, and I told you I graduated in 2021, right? So there's a whole pandemic going on too while I'm just trying to get accustomed to being at the bedside, being pregnant. Yeah, that first year, it was a lot going on, but I definitely learned a lot in that first year of nursing. It kind of brought me to where I am now, and I'll circle back to that. But yeah, definitely first year was rough. I was making the most money I had ever made, ever. My starting rate was $30 an hour. Because I was a float pool nurse, we got like $3 more different. You know, we got a $3 differential. That's what I mean. All right, so to keep going with my freshman season, I did end up having my daughter during that first year. So I was probably like 6 or 7 months into bedside nursing, and then I went on to maternity leave, and that was fine and dandy. And then I came back, and I realized, dang, I do not want to be at the bedside anymore. It was just, I don't know what happened. It was just like I was at home, and then like I just started feeling so much more burnout than I was when I left. Like I said, there was a lot going on in the world at that time when I graduated. Like I said, the pandemic, it was like swelling. Even though we had the vaccines and stuff available, people were still getting sick, and the hospitals were still getting overwhelmed with patients and stuff like that. So I started to get a little bit burned out. So I decided that by the end of my first year, I was gonna look for a different position, and that's what I did. So that kind of concludes my first year of nursing, which it was nice. It was challenging because of the pandemic, but overall I still learned a lot, and it was the most money I had made as a working professional ever. This is my first like professional job in a career field. So I was kind of proud of the money that I was making and kind of the stride I was making in my career. So let's talk about year 2, sophomore season. Okay, so my second year of nursing, this is my daughter. She wanted to be in the video so bad. My second year of nursing, let's get right into it. So I did end up making a transition from in-person to remote work at this time. So like I said, after my first year, I was done. I was over it. I was like, I don't think I want to do bedside nursing anymore. London, get down. You cannot get into bed right now. I don't want to do bedside nursing at this particular time with the newborn and all that stuff. So I started like applying to different jobs with like a little bit more flexible schedule, not so demanding. And I just happened to come across inpatient virtual nursing. This company, this tech company, they're hiring nurses. They were like, hey, we're looking for nurses to work 312s, day shift, helping out doing admissions and discharges, rounds, clinical education, all that stuff. And I was like, what's this? And I was like, I can't read the job description. I had to take a little bit of a pay cut to do it. I was making, before I left Big Duke, I was making $35 an hour. And they had just given everybody a raise, but I was so over it. I didn't even care. And then they turned around and went up on parking and the food in the cafeteria after we got the raise. So it was like, anyway, yeah, they were offering $32, and I was like, okay, you know, I'll take $3 less if I can be at home and I don't have to pay for gas. I think I'll be okay with it, maybe. And so I did the interview, and they just asked me if I ever worked with Epic or Cerner. I kind of told them about my bedside nursing experience. I told them about the float pool. Bye-bye, baby. Close the door. I told them about the float pool experience, and yeah, they offered me the job right on the spot. So I was super excited. I was gonna be working remotely 3 days a week. Yeah, you would have thought I won the lottery. And at this time, I was still working at Big Duke, but I already put my notice in. I put my 30-day notice in, and I didn't have this job lined up yet. Like, I was on day like 15 of looking for work, and this just kind of came up to me. So for the next year, I was working as an inpatient virtual nurse, doing admissions, discharges, rounds, all that stuff for different hospital systems across the country. And I absolutely fell in love with it. I fell in love with the schedule. I enjoy working at 312s at the bedside, and I really liked having the 4 to 8 days off, depending on how you make your schedule. London, hush! Depending on how you make your schedule, you can have 4 to 8 days off. So I just felt like I was at peace. I was enjoying my life. I was making decent money, and this, you can kind of see my setup in the back here. That's how I see it and hear my patients. And I didn't have any complaints. I was super happy to be a nurse. Like, at first I was like, ooh, I do not want to do this. Like, if this is nursing, like the way I felt at the bedside, I was like, this is nursing. Then I transitioned to remote. I was like, okay, I can do this a little bit longer. I love the fact that I was still able to be with my child and still make money. And if I wanted to pick up something PRN outside of it, I could. So second year of nursing was definitely better than the first. But yeah, so I did that for an entire, well, for the full sophomore year, I did inpatient virtual nursing care. All right, let's get into the junior year. So I have been a nurse for 3 years. So I'm in my junior year currently. And as you would guess it, yes, I'm still practicing as an inpatient virtual nurse, my 3rd year into nursing. And this year, what's different from this year and from the 2nd year is that I got super, super inspired by inpatient virtual nursing. I love the idea of it. I love the idea of it being able to be a tool to retain nurses at the bedside. And even when I reflect at my time at the bedside, I would have loved to have a virtual nurse help me do my admissions and my discharges, helping me do rounds on patients I couldn't see for X amount of time, helping me with medication sign-offs. So I just love the fact that I know what it feels like to be the bedside nurse. And in this role, I get to support the bedside nurse and the patients. It's just really fulfilling me right now. Like, it's just something that I can see myself doing for a really long time. I love the critical thinking aspect of it. You're still having to critically think, because even though you're not in the room physically with these patients are still acutely ill, right? So they can have changes in their lab values. You need to sign off on certain drips. One time I was a part of a code as a virtual nurse, so that was pretty cool. That'll be a separate video. But yeah, I've really just been enjoying it. And so with that, all that being said, like I mentioned, I got super, super inspired, and I just love the idea of how it's going to keep nurses in nursing. I decided to create an entire staffing agency based off of and for remote nurses. It is called NursiConnect. The idea or the vision that I have for my agency is to be I want my agency to be, well, my agency will be the place where nurses can come and find, apply, browse for jobs. And if they want to get training in certain things, they can also get certain training in virtual nursing, remote nursing. I'm only offering training in remote nursing because I think I feel like it's really, really needed. And the way that inpatient virtual nursing is growing, because it's in the acute care setting in the hospital, I really, truly believe it needs to be a part of the nursing school curriculum. Like, we need to be taught how to do this in nursing school. And I want my agency to be the drive and the push behind this type of education. So that's where I'm at right now in my 3rd year of nursing. So I am the chief executive here at NursiConnect. I'm also still working full-time as an inpatient virtual nurse. And I'm a mom of a 2-year-old. What? If you would have told me 3 years ago I'll be running a staffing agency, I'll be like, what the no, I'm about to be somebody's CRNA. You know, well, I'm about to be applying to CRNA school, trying to get to that point because I did want to be a nurse anesthetist. In nursing school, that was the end goal, CRNA. And then, like, what really turned the tide for me, like pulled me away from CRNA a little bit. Number one, it was the fact that I did not like working in the hospital. That was just, and then it was like really getting on TikTok and social media and just talking about what my day in a life looks like as a virtual nurse. And so many of y'all just were so engaged with the content, asking so many questions, and like eventually y'all became like my market research and like what I needed to do to make this business come to life. And if I didn't start posting on TikTok, I wouldn't know that there wasn't a lot of information and things like that about inpatient virtual nursing available to nurses. There's a lot of information available to like the hospital systems and the tech companies that are trying to develop the virtual nurse and the processes and the systems. That stuff you can go online and try to figure out. But if you're a nurse and you want to learn more about inpatient virtual nursing, or you want to try to get into it or do it, the information is super, super limited. Like, I just stumbled across it on Indeed, and that I just found it by the look of the draw. Anyway, that kind of inspired me to start the agency. Now, I know I talk a lot about inpatient virtual nursing, but I want NursiConnect to be the remote nurse staffing agency. Anything a nurse can do remotely, you can come to NursiConnect and get them, because they can get trained by a remote nurse, or they can get trained by a telehealth nurse. Whatever you need, you can come to NursiConnect and get it in the virtual sector anyway. So that's kind of where I'm at, my 3rd year of nursing. So yes, I'm still actively practicing. And I'm currently working on getting a certification in nursing, my first certification. I'm so excited. And it's called the CAVRN. So this certification is specifically designed for inpatient virtual nurses. And it just got released at like the beginning of this month, I think. So it's a brand new certification. Only like a handful of nurses have it. I only learned about it because somebody told me on LinkedIn that they have the CAVRN now. But the CAVRN stands for Certified Acute Care Virtual Registered Nurse. And like I said, it's specifically for inpatient virtual nurses, so nurses that are practicing acute care in the virtual realm. To sit for it, you have to have like 1,000 hours of inpatient virtual nursing experience and all that stuff. But I'll also link it in the bio in case you are already practicing acute care virtual nursing and you want to take it. But yeah, so I'm working on getting my first nursing certification. And y'all, nursing certifications are kind of a big deal. It shows like you are, you know, you're serious about what you do. You're serious about your specialty. You're serious about your nursing practice. Not if you don't do your certification, you don't care. That's what I'm saying. But, you know, it's just like a little badge of honor. So I'm working on getting that right now, my 3rd year of nursing. So yeah, I got a lot going on. I'm also creating a course for inpatient virtual nurses. Well, I'm creating 3 courses for telehealth nurses or remote nurses, okay? The first one is about inpatient virtual nursing. So in that course, I kind of teach you how to be an inpatient virtual nurse and kind of like best practices for virtual nursing, because that's also not available. You can't just go on Google and find that. You have to actually practice it, experience it, and then go through it. And so yeah, I'm creating that. I'm also creating a course about artificial intelligence in nursing, because child, the way virtual nursing is going, AI and virtual nursing, they are like parallel sister cousins. Like, they got it now to where when the virtual nurse turn the camera on, AI can detect if the patient's having a fever, if they haven't been turned for a while. Yeah, there's a lot of AI integration into the nursing practice as we speak. It's the year 2024 as this video is being made. So I just wanted to create some more training about that, because that's also going to be a big part of remote nursing or telehealth nursing. And then my last course I'll be creating is for my psychiatric nurse practitioners. We do place those at NursiConnect. So I want to offer them some training as well, because since the COVID-19 pandemic, 50+% of mental health services are delivered online, and a lot of these companies are looking for psychiatric nurse practitioners. And if you want to take your practice from in-person to remote, and you don't really know how to do it, you don't know if it's the right move for you, that's kind of what that course goes over. Like, is this what you need to do for your career? Is the best move, and what will your life look like, or your nursing practice look like with this shift? So yeah, I'm just busy. I'm just all over the place. And that's kind of what my life has been like after nursing school. I don't think I would change it at all. I think a lot of everything that I went through, I was in the right place at the right time. One of the things I need to learn, because I was the person that was meant to share it with you all, okay? So you graduated nursing school, share what your life looks like. Has your life changed? What's been the impact that nursing has made in your life? Because this is what this degree has started to do for me, okay? And I absolutely enjoy it. I could talk about virtual nursing all day long. And I'm working on trying to get more events, networking events, just for like remote tech, telehealth type nurses, more of those networking events in the forefront, because yeah, I would like to go to one too. But anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That's kind of what my life has been after nurse school. Again, share your experience, everything like that, in the comments. I want to hear your stories. And if you're interested in any of the courses that I just listed, I will also link I'll also put a link in the description where you can sign up and put your email in, so that you get notified when the courses do drop. Okay, if you're interested in any of those courses, you can get notified when they drop. And then you can also follow me on all other platforms. I'm on TikTok at AvaRN, and then I'm also here on YouTube. And then my business is NursiConnect, so you can find us at NursiConnect, NURSI Connect, on social media as well. I'll link everything below. Last thing, I do also run a podcast. It is called the NursiConnect podcast, where I sit down and I interview nurses, remote nurses, and they share their experience about how they transition from in-person to remote work, best tips, resumes, just kind of what their lifestyle has been like since transitioning to remote work, and how it's kind of affected their nursing practice. So that's also linked in the bio too. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'm super excited y'all tuned in. Don't forget to check out my day in the life vlogs too. I post day in the life of a remote nurse vlogs all the time here on YouTube and TikTok. So all right, love y'all. All right, y'all, I guess I will see y'all in the next video. Happy nursing.